Morning everyone, and welcome to a very exciting day for that, and I get to do my painting. So these bad boys have been curing overnight. I've given them a really quick rub over with sanding sponge with a fine, very super fine sanding sponge. Too excited to talk. Really weight of the hand stuff. Nothing more, just trying to get rid of any paint nibs that you've got on it rather than go through my fairly copious amounts of primer, and it's all looking pretty damn good, I have to say. Tank looks real. Oh, I've lost my ball gag. I'll go and find that. I've got the bits that are going orange up. The front piece for the tank where it secures is not. I have tack cloth this and there's still shit on it. I'll have to give it another go. Yeah, all good to go. Now I've got a test bit up there so I can get my fan about right. Now if you're a member of the Motorcycle Rescuer and Friends Facebook site, you would have seen this colour already, but that's what I'm going for. Oh, in fact, actually, no, I chucked it on the bottom of the last video, didn't I? I'll go onto the Facebook site anyway. It's a great bunch of people, and I tend to put things up a little bit early on there as well. I've also been catching up on my previous attempts, just to make sure I've learnt the lessons, I think, as much as anything else. Right, that's all stirred, good to go. I'm going to get set up. I'm going to cover up with a like a rainproof jacket type thing, just to stop the shed a little bit, because I don't have a paint suit, which is a bit daft. But I've got my mask down there. Let's get this shit going, shall we? Right, I've got my mask on, as you can tell by the Darth Vader-esque voice. The tank is full. I'm just going to try and piss around to try and get my settings somewhere near correct. Got paint through there already. Fuck it. Right. Really difficult to see with this lighter colour. I don't think that's far off. Let's start going on. What can you see? Can you see what I see? What are you looking at? Ah, you are looking at those, right. This is going to go all over the tent. I'm not entirely sure if this has got how much of a trash this is going to look. Christ, it blows these around a lot. I'm just going to take this air down a little bit, I think. Alright, let's try that. Oops, kinky my wire, my hose. Flapping around a lot more than I would hope, because I don't want them to blow off. Cinematography is going to be a little bit hit and miss on this. I'm afraid. I'm starting to like the colour already. Right, let's just see if I can spin you around. Yeah. There'll be a lot of staring at my butt, I'm afraid. I might have to rethink this a little bit in the next coat. There's those lips, there they are. Fucking loving this colour already. Absolutely loving it. You've got a crap view of the Tango, I apologise, but the priority is the paint, not the view. Well, this is slung quite high. I was tempted to drop it, but then I realised actually I routinely cock up down the bottom. If I have it high, it should help me out a bit. Is my thinking. Could be wrong. I don't actually think the prep on this tank is my best work. Let's see how we go. So I'm not going for 100% coverage, I'm just keeping it mobile and fast. I'm going to have to hang that up because I've just realised I haven't put my ball gag in. I am your father. I'm not sure if the audio reached that far, but I just bumped into one of my boys in the kitchen. Freaked him out slightly with the mask on. COVID's back. Trying to slow my arm down. I don't know why I have a tendency to move faster with a spray gun than I do with an aerosol. It is a bit strange. Right, so coat one done. Front. I'm slightly concerned, so I'm just spinning around the side pieces tag-ons, the engine covers and the radiator covers. By the stalk obviously, not by the fan. I'm slightly concerned that I'm just going to blow these off the hooks. But we'll see. Only one way to find out. It blows off, I'm just a bit fucked. We shall see. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think small engine case pieces, this is the best way to do it. I'm going to have a rethink. Yeah, they're just going to blow away. I'll have a rethink whilst this is drying. I'm going for paint. That's 300, so it's about 150 a coat. Right, paint drying stuff. Leave that to dry. I'm going to have to find a better way of doing those small pieces. Possibly not the greatest solution, but to a self-generated problem, but that's just gaffer tape rolled up into a ball, just to give them a bit of elevation so I can get some paint roughly around them, if not behind them. So let's kick back off with the next coat. I think we're good. It's been about 10-15. Might actually be making it easier. I had completely underestimated how much pressure comes out of this gun. Put the fucking cupboard on my bike. Oh, you bastard. What a drooper. Come on, droopy jaws. Stay. You can see that I've still, I stayed to my roots. This is still a really Mickey Mouse operation. But I think my channel always will be. If you had all of the kit, it would be really boring. It's my excuse. Right. I'm going to have to be careful that I don't fucking stand on that or drag the hose over the top of it now. I really don't like moving wet paint. I'll do it. Right. Let's carry on. I'll probably just fast forward you. It's going to start to get very dull very quickly. I reckon I got 3 coats, or I can get 3 coats out of that at 150 a shot. The colour is starting to solidify a bit, looking good. So the colour is firming up. Let me just get that off. I don't feel like shit Darth Vader. Colour's coming good. Colour's coming really good. Right, I'm going to take a break, have a cup of tea, take a deep breath, and then carry on going. Oh, it's fumey in there. Okay, so I have done another coat off camera. It's looking good. All of the pieces look really good, frankly. Come back to the fucking mudguard. Tank's looking good. Coverage is looking good. I do have a run on that bottom edge there, but that's fine. I am really trying to load the paint on this. I want to go for a good thick coverage, and particularly excuse me, I discovered this on which one of the yellow bikes was it? It might have been Sting, that actually with these lighter colours it's really easy to get sort of a mottled where you go thicker in some places than other. So I'm just going for thick thick, but Tank looks really good so far. Tempting fate nat. Calm yourself down, big fella. Mudguard, fucking shit. I've got that reaction's come back, which is really irritated. Now, rightly or wrongly, I'm just going to keep loading paint. I am going to go for a big thick black stripe down the middle, and down the middle I might be able to, you know, once it's all dry and cured, leave it, give it a rub down, and then do the black over the top of that. It takes it about as wide as I wanted to go, actually, which is semi-fortuitous, but I'd rather I didn't have to do that. But I'm just going to keep going with the paint, and I'll sort it out later. Worst case scenario, worst case scenario, I can just get this paint chucked in an aerosol for me. Bodyworks in Watford does that. They did it for a colour match Kawasaki green that I did in it, and it's fine. It's annoying. Oh, frog in my throat. It is really annoying, but well, you can't get too wound up about these things, can you? I'm going to let this have a good dry while I have some breakfast, and keep going. Now, I don't really know how many coats to do. I mean, that was 450ml, and I've probably got, you know, less than 50 left in there. I've got 200 left in the tin. I think what I'm going to do is just put the 200 in, plus it's 2 to 1, so plus 100 thinner, so 300ml, which is another, what, 2 gusting 3 coats. I think that's what I'm going to do. I can't use anything with a spare paint. I did want to do the fins of the engine. I'm not going to. It's a shame because it would look really cool, but I've tried a bit of the orange on top of the black. It doesn't work. I need some sort of primer underneath it. I don't have any liquid primer, non-aerosol primer. I suppose I could spray it onto something and then paint it on, but it's just not gonna, it's gonna look wanky. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. I think there's enough colour accent from these, more than enough. And I think they are coming up fucking beautifully, better than I'd expected, actually. Right, let's, I'm going to have some breakfast, let that have a good dry, mix up the remains of the paint, and keep plying it on. I don't think I'm going to film it because it all starts getting a bit samey, so I think I might drop you back in either when it's done or when it's dry. I might go for a Del Boy actually and do it when it's done and it's wet and shiny and looks great, and put some shitty guitar music in the background. Or maybe not. Catch you in a bit. Ta-da. Right, and there we go. That's the best side of 500ml of the orange, the burnt orange, I suppose. A couple of people have said that's, yeah. Yeah, say 500. About 475. It's about 25ml. You just can't get out of the tin. So that's it gone. Tank's run dry. It's looking pretty fucking awesome, actually. On the mudguard, I've just kept going. Just kept lathering it on. It did fall off the stand once, which was fucking irritating. I think I've managed to catch it without damaging it too much, but yeah, we'll see how we get on. Tank's looking fairly magnificent, but we'll see how that dries out. There's a lot of paint on there. It is orange peeled, of course it is. I'm going to consider whether or not I go for the orange peel before I go for the lacquer. Normally I lacquer over the top and then do it, because it just saves the risk of burning through. I think that's probably what I'm going to do before. I have ordered some Fazer decals, and I am going to go for the big thick pinstripe down the middle, because of the shape of the tank. I don't know if I can point it out to you. The shape of the tank supports it really quite nicely, and it's what I've done before. So you've got that nice stripe down the middle. So I'm thinking, you know, thick black in the middle and a little thin black outside it, with a bit of masking, not masking tape, call it trim tape. And then you can either come straight down the middle, or you can actually feather it in, which is what I did last time, and I think I might do that again. Not without bits and shit. I even saw that fall off the roof. That really fucking irritated me. Dead beastie. But you know, it's not a sterile environment. It's more sterile than I'm used to, but it's not a sterile environment. Right, I may chuck some footage up later on how it looks once it's dried out a little bit, but that'll do me for this. I may just chuck up some pictures. I've now got to get on with cleaning this out, which is my least favourite part of using a spray gun, but got to be done. Yeah, it's a weird one. I really look forward to this, and it's a massive anticlimax. Not for me, I fucking loved it, but filming it is just really difficult. And otherwise you're just watching a guy go shh, 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 shh. I know I have got some videos up in the past. I think my spraying technique has got better with a spray gun. For some reason I want to go faster, so I'm just keeping myself more steady, not going too slow, because it's just going to build up and run. But yeah, we'll see how this stuff dries out, and I'll chuck some pictures up. But I probably won't be talking, so thanks very much. I'll chuck up some pictures and we'll see how we go. Ta-da! Right, good news and bad news. Bad news first. That mudguard is pretty much fucked. I don't think I can salvage that. I think that's a rub down and go again. That's fucking irritating. I'll see what I can do, but it needs to cure properly. The good news is though, best place I find to dry kit is where it sits. So I'll just chuck stuff up. Now that is looking like I wanted it to. Orange mudguard would be better, but that is looking good. Now everything's just loosely tagged on. You know, I don't want too much contact with the surfaces, etc., etc. But that's looking pretty damn cool. Well happy with that. Right, I'm going to let that cure. Well, I mean, these are massively out of sync. It's currently Sunday. I'm not going to touch any of this throughout the week. Well, maybe middle of the week and give it a rub down of an evening. But I'm certainly not going to touch it now. Everything's nice and braced up and not in contact, so there's a bit of wood under the tank holding it off so it can dry properly, but it's just less likely to get knocked over there. Right, that'll do me for now. We're getting there. That looks cool as fuck. Cheers all. Ta-da.